Hello and welcome to the news at noon on Human Rights Radio 101.1 FM Abuja. My name is Oikeke Igaudo. The headlines, these are: President Muhammadu Buhari appeals to angry APC aspirants, says they should be faithful to Nigeria. Nigerian Labour Congress rejects proposed 22,500 naira minimum wage. And on the foreign scene, Turkey gives official details of Saudi writer's death, plus business and sports news after this break. And now the news in full. President Muhammadu Buhari has called on all aspirants of the All Progressive Congress APC who lost out in the primaries to remain faithful to their nation, Nigeria. A statement issued by the President's Special Advisor on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, on Wednesday, quoted Buhari as saying that the primary motivation to contest elections should be to improve the country and not for financial reasons. The president said fate will always pave the way for the just, committed and patient politicians who want to truly serve the country. He warned them to be cautious in making choices, saying the future would only be salvaged by those who love the country. And still on electoral matters, and with the 2019 general elections approaching, Nigerians have been called to shun all forms of violence. The call became necessary as political activities heightened up across the country. In this interview, some people have cautioned the youth, especially not to allow themselves to be used by politicians for any negative reasons.
It's time now that youth should be very, very aware of some certain things. That if a politician walk up to me and said I should take arms or participate in electoral violence to achieve his own purpose, why not use your children to pick up these jobs that you are paying me 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira to do? So my advice to the youth is what they should look after is what will sustain them even after the election and not the peanut. We shun these people. I think they will do what is right.
Fellow Nigerians, make good use of your time. Do not let yourself to be used by all these politicians. Their children are not in Nigeria. We are here, using yourself to perpetuate violence.
Most Nigerian youths are usually used by politicians to perpetrate evil, election rigging, intimidating opponents for a little amount of money, 2,000, 5,000. We sell our country right for the next 4 years to someone who is obviously corrupt. It is obviously not right.
The youth, they should be very careful and they should know the kind of people they are voting for. We don't need any kind of leader that will not put us in the right way. So every youth now should open eye. We need a peaceful election. We need the leader that will lead us to promised land.
We are the future of this nation. We need to be more vigilant. We need to stand on our rights. We pick a candidate. We know that this man is loyal, is not corrupt. We stand by that candidate and not collect money and sell our rights to an individual for the next 4 years as youths.
The Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) has slated November 18 as the official date to commence campaigns for the 2019 general elections. The organized labor has rejected the 22,500 naira proposals made by the Nigerian Governors Forum (NGF) as the new minimum wage. Briefing newsmen in Abuja on Wednesday, President of the Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC), Ayuba Waba, said Labour has gone back to its previous demand of 66,500 naira. Some civil servants spoke to us on this issue.
The government is not being sensitive. They don't want to pay that 30,000 minimum wage. 30,000 is not even a living wage. We are talking of family men. Like as I'm speaking with you, I know how many children I have. I know how much I pay as school fees. So, which means they don't want civil servants to live happily. And this a government that is fighting corruption cannot pay 30,000 minimum wage. So, how do you expect workers to live with 30,000 without being corrupt?
In the first place, this 18,000 they are giving civil servants is not enough for us. And we are going to the same market with the big men, the directors, the senators. We are going to the same market. So if they can give us this 30, even if they add to 30, it will be okay. But if they can give us this 30, we'll manage. So 22,500 is too small.
30,000, you know, this thing ought to have come up since 2015. So if Labour is agitated for 30%, I don't think that one is too much. And I think the government should be considerate and do the needful and adjust. Government should try looking at what is currently going on in the country. They should be able to try and come to that 30%.
The Governors Forum had issued a communique after its meeting in Abuja, claiming that the state governors can only pay 22,500 naira as the new national minimum wage. Labour has subsequently called on all its members to continue to mobilize in preparation for the commencement of an indefinite strike on November 6, if necessary steps are not taken. Nigerians are asking the federal government and all stakeholders to seriously put measures in place to end the constant protests by members of the Islamic Movement of Nigeria. Clashes between the sect and the military during the week had led to casualties in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. The members of the sect are demanding for the immediate release of their leader, Sheikh Ibrahim El-Zakzaky, who has been locked up since 2015.
The Shiite movement, though, they have not come out really to tell us what the Shiite movement is all about. But actually, I know that their leader has been arrested, detained for almost 2 years, if not more than. Like this digital age, you don't need to march to the city center before people know that you are protesting. Like I live in Maraba days ago that they protested, despite they call it peaceful protests. But their movement, their appearance registered a lot of fear in the area where they entered. The appearance alone, people were afraid. So everywhere scattered. But all the same, government should call them to table so they should dialogue and find a solution to it.
The law has to take its course, and it's just a matter of if we are to go for dialogues. I don't know the extent at which government has dialogue with them, but ordinarily, this is a democratic settings that government still needs to use all efforts, democratic efforts, to make sure it does not tarnish the image of the government.
It's Monday or Tuesday. I trek from barracks to Nyanya, which is very wrong for an old woman like me. So what government know that is good, let them do. If it is good to release that man, let them release. If it is not good, but let them make sure that there is peace. We are suffering. Even as we are going now, we don't know where we are passing, whether they are on the way or not.
Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris, on Wednesday promised to put an end to the protest by members of the sect. Idris made the promise in an interview with State House correspondents in Abuja. He said the federal government was not ruling out dialogue with stakeholders as one of the ways of ending the protest. The Nigerian Army has discovered the body of her missing general, retired Major General Idris Alkali. Alkali was said to have been killed and buried in a shallow grave at a place called No Man's Land in Lafande community of Jos, the Plateau State capital. A statement by the leader of the search and rescue operation, Brigadier General Umar Mohammed, on Wednesday noted that a parade will be held for the late retired general. Mohammed said the late general will also be given an honor and a befitting burial. The former army boss was attacked and killed by protesters in September 2018 in Jos. The Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, FCT, Muhammadu Musa Bello, has appealed to the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission for an improvement in the supply of electricity to the Federal Capital City. Bello made the plea when he received the chairman of the commission, Professor James Momo, in his office in Abuja. The minister said electricity supply is a major challenge in the FCT as a result of the poor allocation of power from the suppliers. Enter our community reports now. After a drive through a very rough and deplorable road, Human Rights Radio Abuja made it to Mashefa village. Residents of the community told us that if the FCT administration can tackle the road infrastructure deficit, then their lives would be better for it.
Our major problem here is road. We don't have good road. Accidents every time. Then lights. The transformer is not enough for us. We used to pay revenue, but they are not using it for us. There is no any government hospital around us here.
In this our Mashafa village, Papi, we don't have good roads. Light is another issue. And at the end of the month, the type of bill that they will bring is another case. And they have promised us that they will bring meters to share to everybody. And there is nothing like water facilities in this our village, so that's what I'm begging government. They didn't bring change to us.
Government, please, the road here in Mashafa is very bad. One thing about this road is that anybody that is pregnant now will not be able to go out of this Mashafa because the road is very bad. Even if you're not pregnant, safe, you might even have dislocation because of the stone. Please, we need the government to come and help us.
This our road everywhere don't spoil finish, and the lights, we know they see light, and the water. The government can help us do that road, even though they no crota, make them just grade them with the caterpillar so that it goes smooth at all. Like rainy season they come now, many of us now carry mine for hand now.
Our road is bad. Aid is not trying for us.
We don't have security here. We organize local security. We need water because it's the necessity thing.
There's no lights and there's no water. We always buy water. So we need water, we need lights. If government can assist us on the road and also most especially the lights.
And on the foreign scene, Turkey has given its first official statement on how it believes writer Jamal Khashoggi was killed. The statement follows weeks of media reports about the murder of the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on the 2nd of October this year. Turkey has yet to provide evidence, though. Chief Prosecutor Ayfan Fidan said a meeting with his Saudi counterpart had yielded no concrete results. The Turkish statement said Jamal Khashoggi was choked to death immediately after entering the Consulate General of Saudi Arabia. He said his body was then dismembered and destroyed. Khashoggi, a Saudi national working for the U.S. press, was a well-known critic of his home country's rulers. And still ahead, business and sports reports after this break. Welcome back. And now business news. Sell pressure was persistent on the Nigerian Stock Exchange NSE on Wednesday, with major blue chips recording price reduction, forcing the index to drop further by 2.11%. Dangote Cement, one of the highly capitalized equity, recorded the highest loss to lead the losers table, dropping by 7 naira to close at 209 naira per share. Nigerian breweries trade with a loss of 5 naira 60 kobo to close at 82.40 naira, while Stanbic IBTC shed 5 naira 25 kobo to close at 42 naira 25 kobo per share. Guinness declined by 40 kobo to close at 73 naira, while Presco dipped 1.80 kobo to close at 56 naira 20 kobo per share. On the other hand, international breweries led the Guinness table, growing by 3 naira 5 kobo to close at 33 naira 55 naira kobo per share. The volumes of shares traded declined by 31.26%, while the value of shares dropped by 37.06%. And in sports, Arsene Wenger has promised he will be back in football management at the start of 2019, but the Frenchman does not yet know at which club. The 69-year-old veteran boss ended his 22-year supremacy at Premier League side Arsenal at the end of last season, but insisted he was yet to finish with football. Wenger's final seasons in charge of Arsenal saw the once mighty Gunners struggling to contend for the English title. Arsenal are currently fourth in the table, just 4 points behind Premier League leaders and reigning champions Manchester City. And that's the news for this hour. We'd like to remind you that President Muhammadu Buhari has appealed to angry APC aspirants, says they should be faithful to Nigeria. Nigerian Labour Congress rejects proposed 22,500 naira minimum wage. On the foreign scene, Turkey gives official details of Saudi writer's death. Thank you very much. Sabitu, how are you today?
I'm okay, I'm fine.
Thank you very much. So we're not ready for the house of service? All right, okay. So in Akwana, is that how to say good afternoon?
Can we say in Akwana this time?
Okay. Okay, Inaini, that is good afternoon.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. Please stay tuned for the house of service. My name is Oikike Igado Kure.
Welcome, my dear friends. Human Rights Radio.